Hi, 18th tutorial on Visual Basic 2010 Express Edition, and in this tutorial I will show you how to create an advanced calculator. And also this video will be divided into parts because it's too long, and it will take about 20 minutes to create this program, or maybe even more. So the program will have two parts. As you can see, I already have the design of the calculator. You can see the text box. I also change the property enable to false so that you can't write in it. You can see the numbers from 1 to 0, and you can also see the dot. You can also see the clear button and arithmetic operations, and equal sign. So let me start with the numbers first. And also, before I start it, in the public section I will need to declare a couple of variables, and I will declare number 1 as a single, and number 1 and number 2 as a single as well. And why single? Because we will use things like for example 5.3 for the results and stuff like this. So the single will be helpful, particularly in the calculators. You use mostly singles, not integer, or doubles if the number is greater than single can ever contain. Okay, so I have my three variables for calculations. Now I need a couple of variables for the signs, precisely 4 of them. So sign 1, and I will do different type of declaration now. As boolean. As you can see, I did it in one sentence. You can also do something like this just to save space. You can do this. You can have this way or either this way. It's up to you. And boolean, I use boolean because it will be either true or false. Okay, so I can start with my code for the buttons. I will have private variable number 1 as a string. You can use bytes. I don't mind. You can use byte, but I prefer to use strings for this purpose. You can use bytes, integer, anything. It's up to you what you use. And then you have text box. 1.text is equal to text box again. Dot text and plus num1. So this way I will add the string, which is 1, to the text box, to this text box. And each time I press this button, 1 will be added, or 2 or 3 and stuff like this. So I just copy this code and go to number 2 and change it to 2. All of these things. And with all of the buttons I need to change the numbers. And this one is 3 as well. For 4 as well. Some people may say, why didn't you use arrays? One reason is because I haven't created a tutorial for arrays yet. That's the one thing. And second thing, I prefer to use the simplest code I ever create, so that people who are not advanced in programming will understand this. So arrays will come later on, that's for sure. I will show you how to create arrays, but I prefer not to use them here because this code should be much more simpler for you. It's advanced calculator, as I say at the beginning, but with the simple code. Okay, and 9 takes some time, I must say. And 0. We can also do the dot with the same method. Dot. Okay, so that's the numbers done. So I can show you this. Whenever I click something, it will be added to the text box. So that's done. That's created. Don't worry for the clear button for now. Let's move on to the calculation, to the signs and to arithmetic operations. So first of all, in this tutorial, in this part, I will show you divide, and in the other part, I will show you rest of them. So divide. First of all, we will need some kind of validation. So if text box dot text1 is equal to nothing, which means we haven't input anything, then I would say message box and saying please enter a number. Please enter a number. I can just say first. So please enter a number first, and then else, if it's not true, I will assign the text box value. So whatever is in this, I will assign it to number 1, and it's equal to text box 1.text. And also what I can do, just to make it more advanced, let's say, I can say text box text is equal to nothing, so it's clear. I will clear it. So that's one way. That's one evaluation of the program, of the divide sign. So for example, I click divide, you can see the number disappear. You can input another number. But because it's not finished yet, I also need the sign to assign the sign if it's true or false. That's why I created it. So I will do that, but first of all, I will also have if statement inside if, and saying if number 1 is equal to 0. And why I'm doing this? Because number 1, if it's equal to 0, we don't divide 0. You can't divide 0 because it's 0, so it's wrong. So I would say just to display the message saying that please enter a number greater or less than 0. I forgot about the quotation mark. Okay, so this is another validation. And else, so another else, else I will sign 1, it is equal true, and all other signs are equal false. So each sign will be responsible for one arithmetic operation. Sign 1 will be for division, and so on. So sign 3 is equal false as well, and sign 4 is equal false as well. You can't see it now, but when I finish with the rest of them in the next part, you will see when I click, for example, this one or this one or this one or even this one again, this one will be evaluated. But if I click this one, then the program will bug. So to prevent that, I can say divide button, and all the rest of the buttons are disabled, so equals false. And for example, when I calculate it, it will again be enabled, or when I click clear, it will again be enabled. So this is one way to prevent from bugging. So multiplication as well is equal false, and also addition is equal false, and multiplication, subtraction enabled equal to false. I will show you how this works. So when I input some kind of value, I press this, and you can see those are disabled now, so I can only calculate and divide. It would take much more code to create a calculator that can change between them. It's much more complicated. But this is the first part, and this tutorial ends here. The second part will be about those three buttons: and include button, also clear button. So look forward to the next one, and have a nice day, I would say. See ya, bye.